As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be.
Oh man, it's 8 o'clock.
And so that'll make it a.
I don't need the spotlight. I shine just fine.
Hi, I'm Karma, and yes, I am a bitch.
Brav Bros. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Brav Bros, your favorite podcast from the bros for everybody. For whoever wants to listen, I'm your co-host, Steele Russell, joined as always by the immaculate Magoots. What's up?
Ooh, I really like that one.
Figured you would.
Yeah, let's lean into that a little bit more. Let's get nice around here because look, this episode of Potomac that we're about to get into, they did something that I think is very funny. They made it very family oriented. We got a ton of family scenes, a lot of parents, a lot of this and that, and some feel good scenes mixed in there.
Graduations.
Oh, it was just lovely to see everything going on. And then they gave us something that we probably shouldn't be able to see, but I can't look away.
It's the biggest train wreck I've ever watched. And no, I can't look away. And I have so many issues with it. I am uncomfortable, but I need to see it. I need to see it played out all the way to fruition. Who's the father? Are Gordon going to be okay? Is Gordon okay? This poor man is like this, just the oldest cuck in the world. Like he's standing in the kitchen just getting cucked.
I don't know how I feel about it. I think that's probably the funniest part about this. I do not know. I can't go through my feelings of where I'm aligned in any of this. So I'm hoping by talking about it, I'll figure it out.
That's a good way to put it because I don't necessarily have like sympathy for Gordon because he's not like a great dude from what we've seen. But these scenes are tough, especially considering, for all intents and purposes, those are his children, as far as we know. So this, I don't know. We'll save it.
As he knows.
As far we'll save it for the end. But my lord, you're like that's so funny when you paint it that way. That it is like this dichotomy of lovely family scenes, horribly broken family scene at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right, great. Well, let's not waste any time then. Let's talk about this week's Potomac episode. And I think it's really important that they started out with 7 days till Karen's court date because for whatever reason, she still can't acknowledge anything. This episode actually got me heated watching her scene with her cousin because I'll save that for we have to save a lot of stuff. We're saving things for later, guys. So make sure you keep listening because that's where the good stuff comes in. But yeah, I was a little heated watching this, but we start out with Stacey and TJ at the crash pad.
Yep.
We're at the crash pad in DC. The funny thing is when you think of crash pad or bachelor pad or like your little hideaway, you think you're going there to boink and stuff.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
No, not at all. Honestly, the first thing I thought of was, what was that show? Do you remember that show? I think it was on Showtime with Liev Schreiber, where he was a fixer in Hollywood.
Yeah. Shit, that was a great show.
He had a bachelor pad in downtown LA that he got in trouble for.
Right.
And that's what I thought of right away.
Yeah,
this is not what that is.
It could not be further from that. This is more like a friend hangout spot, is what I gather from this. And
it's like a treehouse.
Yeah.
You can hang out with your friends.
That's exactly what this is. It's the DC treehouse, and I don't like watching these two alone together. It makes me uncomfortable. It makes me sad for Stacey, and she's trying very hard to... It's not even sex. It's just intimacy at this point. And there's nothing wrong with being intimate, even if you're not going to boink and cross that line. I respect people's religious views. If you don't want to boink till marriage, don't boink till marriage. The complete lack of affection and intimacy altogether is a huge red flag. Whether you like, TJ could be a good dude. I don't know TJ. He gives me kind of a weird vibe, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just because he's holding on to his values, I'm not going to shit on him for that.
No.
But you have to give her something because she comes in here with this fun thing. We're going to paint each other and the winner gets something. And you know what she's implying. She's trying to make it a little sexy. And he's like, well, what do you want? She's like, well, if I win, I want to give you. And I'm like, here comes something. She goes, a spa day. And even that is her trying to be...
not a reward for Stacey.
Not really, but it's like an intimate thing, I guess.
Look, if you look at it this way, it's a little different than going to the zoo, so maybe they just need to differentiate.
They went to the zoo!
I know. I was so excited that they did that. But, yeah, that's the thing with this. I don't No, like I feel bad for Stacey because she just keeps putting herself out there, and she even has to explain that she's flirting with him.
He's like, I know.
He's just not taking any bites, nothing at all. But at the same time, if that's what he's doing and that's what he's been doing, I almost don't feel bad for Stacey because you're seeing this happen. You might like him a lot, but if you do want more and he's not willing to do it because of those values that you already know about, then you got to go.
But that's not values to flirt. That's
No,
my
I
whole
know that,
point.
but if he's been doing that the whole time, you can't change his makeup.
I agree with that.
If that's what he has been doing, and it seems like he has been. And what I would say is she's probably been hanging out with the women on the show a lot more, learning more perspectives, if you will, and they're getting in her head. And now she's trying to push the envelope a little bit more than she probably did
She
before.
should.
Maybe. But
What do
if
you
again,
mean?
if this is who he is and this is who you wanted to choose to hang out with, why are you trying to change the guy?
Well, push the envelope to see if there is any way forward, and if not, get the hell out of there. Because
I think that's where I think she is right now. I think she should just go.
I think she should go too. But it's not. It's to the point now where he has to hammer it home to her, like really let her know we will not have sex, and you can bring it up, but I'm gonna shoot it down every time. It's not funny, and it's mean.
I don't think it's mean. I think it's who he is. She knows who he is, and she's still trying.
I disagree. Just give her
Maybe
something.
he's like if he had like a shellfish allergy, and she just kept saying, "Here, you need to eat these mussels. You need to eat these oysters." That would be annoying.
So he's allergic to sex.
He's
now.
allergic to sex.
That's the vibe I'm
until
getting.
he gets his shot in the arm during marriage.
I said this on. We did a episode with Ryan Bailey yesterday, and if you haven't listened, go ahead and give that a listen. We did like the State of the Union, kind of just addressing every show on Bravo right now. But I did say, like, when they were painting, all I wanted was for Stacey to turn her thing around, and it was just her drawing a picture of TJ's dick.
Yep.
Because I think that would give you every answer you need. How he reacted to that would have told you, is there any possible way forward? Because I'm under the impression now that even if they're married, they're not going to boink. Like, there's so many questions I have. Like, if you have the complete inability, and then we'll move on from this because there's not a whole lot there, but if you have the complete inability to even be affectionate or intimate with somebody, whether you're going to have sex or not, or even cross any boundaries, I think that's a huge red flag for any relationship. There has to be intimacy, and he literally
It's a
refuses.
relationship, though.
It's a friendship. This is a friendship.
That's the whole thing,
but
too.
she thinks it's a relationship.
I know, and that's sad for Stacey. But instead, they just choose to do drawings of the woman that kind of looks like Karen.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. And the best part is, like, as this scene ends, she's telling him, you know, the ladies in the group don't think that you're not sexually active, and teasing you and stuff like that. And he's like, they're not making fun of you and me. And he thought this landed so hard. And I was, oh God. And he's like, they're making fun of God. Come on. And I was like, oh no.
Right show for that.
Oh no. TJ, just fuck off. Like, I'm sorry. He probably doesn't even cuss. I don't know.
Definitely not.
He's a wiener. But sorry. And again, he's just trying to be himself, but it just comes off not great. But let's get to Gizelle and Ashley. And they're talking about Karen, and they're concerned about her. Obviously, I think anybody on this show would be concerned. I think people at home are concerned and it's getting to the point for me where I'm not concerned. I'm just irritated because of the immense lack of accountability with impending charges. She's going to court in 7 days. It's 1 week away, and she has yet to acknowledge that she did anything wrong in this whole thing, and she's trying to maintain her innocence or something like that. It's not really up for debate for anybody watching the show, but whatever. Again, save that for later. But we're talking about an olive oil and lemon drink because Ashley's trying to help her mom get her health on track. She got a little heart problem. So Evo, extra virgin olive oil, and lemon, all I do know is, and she alludes to it, if you drink something like that, you will shit.
Oh, yeah.
Any oil, if you drink a lot of oil, it could be any kind of oil. I promise you, it will not turn out well. Don't ask me how I know.
You might feel better after.
Maybe.
Maybe.
It depends on the amount you're consuming. And that's why I wanted later, I thought they were going to make it. And I was like, okay, I need to see the amount of oil being drank because it'll just go right out.
Yeah. I don't know. I think
That's
we're
not what you
getting
thought about?
dangerously too close to like Shannon in London getting an enema.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, see, it's not uncharted
but
territory.
every time it pops, it's not uncharted, but every time it pops up, I'm like,
Yeah, we don't need to.
No.
Yeah, no. But Karen arrives, and she's disappointed with Mia and Jacqueline because of them implying that she came to them about getting help with alcohol and the rehab thing, and she brings up the opioids thing again. And there is a YouTube video of Mia discussing her opioid problem. That is not for Karen to discuss with anybody, especially to use it as a deflection from your own problems, because all that tells me is you do have a problem and you're trying to point people in a different direction, because that's what I used to do. And that's coming from experience. That's easy. You think I have a problem? Well, she got addicted to opiates and went to rehab, so she's grosser than I am. And again, it paints a picture of negativity towards the recovery community. Didn't care for that as well.
Nope.
But Gizelle even, and this is what's so strange with Gizelle this season overall, is in the past, we probably would have seen her either jump on that wagon or save it for later or throw some shade. Instead, she goes to a confessional and says, oh, now we're just going to point fingers at everybody and lash out because we don't want to deal with our own problems.
Just deflection after deflection.
That's all she's
And that's,
doing.
I think, that's the pit of the problem here with Karen is it's one thing to just hold on to, I can't talk about it because it's ongoing. I can talk to you guys about it after my trial, after my court hearing, whatever it might be in 7 days. She's doing that, but then she's also deflecting all over the place.
Yes.
So it's getting everybody else involved, which is then pissing everybody else off and pissing the viewers off. And again, we both agree you can talk about it. I don't understand why you can't talk about it. Take some responsibility at all, and it would go a very long way. But she's not taking any responsibility. She's acting like she can't talk about it because it's a legal problem. And then she's just trying to pass the buck.
Yes.
So there's just too much going on there, and it's really getting irritating. Obviously, we can't do this forever. I think by next episode, we'll have a little bit more
Wishful
there.
thinking.
We'll at least be able to talk about the court case, maybe? No?
No.
Oh, yeah, no. Next episode is, I guess, them in their prayer circle before she goes into court. So then
it'll be
maybe the episode after
following-
that.
she's
We'll get it
still
2
gonna-
weeks.
Well, she just got denied for whatever motion so that was recent.
Yeah.
So I imagine this carries over. So no, I don't think we're going to get any
That's a good
answers
point.
for it. And to your point of the deflection after deflection, as this is brought up, she's like, I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. She goes, Gizelle goes, I'm here for you, Karen. Like, I want you to know I'm here for you. She goes, well, I'm here for you too. I saw Jamal got engaged. Don't do that.
Immediate.
Because we've seen Jamal on TV this season. You don't think Gizelle knows that he's getting engaged? You don't think she's fine with it? Their relationship seems okay. They're co-parenting. They're happy for their kids. This isn't the deflection you think it is. Giselle's fine. For all we can see, Giselle's flourishing. This is the best we've seen her. It's the most level-headed we've seen her. She's playing the game the right way. She's not getting too messy too quickly. This is a great Gizelle, and we're still getting the good family scene. So this is a well-balanced, well-rounded Gizelle that a lot of people could root for. So this deflection's terrible, especially considering we just saw Jamal.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Well, the way she's deflecting, too, is dependent on who she's with.
Yeah.
If she's with somebody who she's cool with, she'll deflect in a way that it's, hey, why don't you talk about yourself so we can stop talking about this? If it's around Mia, it's, let's talk about how bad you are, which she calls serving back, service back and forth, whatever.
Return service.
Returning serves, yeah.
No, returning service.
Service.
Is it service?
I thought she was referencing tennis.
Oh.
I think she's referencing
That would make more
tennis.
sense. Oh, God
Return
damn it.
service.
I was thinking like a
Turn
restaurant.
down service.
That's what I was thinking, like a restaurant.
After you get out of a
Not
hotel.
even that. I was thinking like a restaurant. Like,
Send it back.
it makes sense.
There's compliments to the chef, and then there's send it back.
Return service.
That's what Karen's doing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does depend on who she's talking to, and she's really just actively avoiding any sort of conversation that she can have with certain people that she knows will continue to ask. And for somebody like Stacey, she can throw out whatever she wants, and it's going to confuse the hell out of Stacey, and Stacey's just going to move on.
Yep.
Too much information.
Way too much. And she even tries to play matchmaker with Gizelle, which I think is so disrespectful to imply. Like, I just want to see you happy. You just need a man. It's like Giselle's doing just fine. She's having fun. She had that fling with What's-His-Nuts for a little while.
Oh, yeah.
Jason, who was just pining for more TV time. But she had a little fun with a younger dude. That's great. Awesome. She doesn't need a man to be happy.
Correct.
And she doesn't need Karen, of all people, telling her that. And again, it's just a deflection. But we get to Wendy and this family lunch. The kids are graduating. All three graduated something. I think the two boys are going to middle school. The youngest is
It's like the most Wendy thing of all
it's a
time.
very Wendy thing.
They all graduated at the same time. They all got
Simultaneously.
some sort of degree
Yes.
at the same time.
Yeah. They're all
I'm surprised
masters.
she did kind of make it about
They
herself.
all got the
but
master's
I'm
degree.
surprised she didn't say, like, those are also my degrees. Like, I've got 7 now.
I think, look, Wendy's had a great, even this
She
scene.
definitely has,
she's,
yeah.
She's delightful to watch right now.
Oh, yeah.
And her mom chiming in, like, where's my allowance, was really funny. And the confirmation, because I was like, ooh, this would be a fun one between her and her mom because she's throwing this is baffling. And I can't imagine the people, like, people do this a lot.
To Wendy's credit, she has always been the biggest birthday celebration person,
Okay,
probably
fair.
across Bravo.
But imagine spending 50 or 60K on a party.
Can't.
That's wild.
Can't.
And not your wedding,
And her
but
mom
just
gets
a
$500
party.
of allowance. How
Is that
often?
what it is?
Yeah, she put it into her phone. I don't know why they showed that. but
How often do you think that is?
I don't know. Every 2 weeks?
$1,000 a month?
It's not bad.
Eh.
She's probably living with her and stuff too.
Okay, that's fair.
Groceries.
I wonder what her
included.
expenses are. That fish. The fish in the freezer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Witchcraft.
Witchcraft items, which
Supplies,
they're
yeah.
expensive. That shit's expensive.
Saving up for a cauldron.
Yeah, it's expensive. But I was impressed at the children's palette.
Mhm.
They're crushing escargot. Very elevated palette. Love to see that. I thought it was hysterical that the ultimatum to get their inheritance is a master's degree.
Yeah.
That's probably real.
Oh, that's 1,000%
Right?
real.
That's definitely real.
Absolutely real.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But I mean, all in all, we're just highlighting these scenes because it makes the final scene that much better.
Yep.
But we move on to another familial scene. We get Ashley and her mom and this health journey that she's on, and it's nice to see Ashley drives us nuts. I think she drives everybody nuts in one way or another. But she has been on a journey over the past 4 years. I think it's cool to see her come into her own as a single mother, being able to take care of the kids. We saw her last year with Uncle Bump, who we haven't seen yet this year,
No.
by the way. And I need to see more Bump.
Yeah, I need him. I definitely need more of him. And I was sad to see that her mom's still dating that bum.
Yeah, that loser.
That dude sucks.
I don't know who he is, but he's a fucking loser.
He's a fucking loser. But there's a funny Twitter account that every Sunday night tweets out, "I can't believe Ashley's still on my screen." That's a good level of hate.
That's all they tweet?
Every Sunday. I don't know. I didn't ever click on the profile, but every Sunday I see it pop up. So yeah, so the account just tweets that out all the time. I just love that level of hating.
I would much prefer if it was they didn't tweet
Anything
ever.
else. Anything else. If the
Only
whole profile was just dedicated to that, and then they would take a year off in
Yep.
between the off season, that would be awesome.
They would have a lot of followers.
Yeah. But again, we love these nice family scenes because it looks like Ashley's just trying to help her mom get to the next stage of her life, make sure that she's nice and healthy, has a couple of interjections here and there about the guy that she's dating who's not providing for her, but, you can't tell her what to
He's
do.
a loser.
He's a loser. And she just seems like a good, concerned daughter. And she gets, I'm not even going to talk about the update that we got on what Ashley's up to.
Allegedly a month away. That's all I'm going to say.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying.
This was in the past. I haven't heard anything since then.
Oh, fuck, you're right.
Immediately, I'm like, I haven't heard anything since then, so
Damn.
probably not. But yeah, just another lovely family scene.
Just a family moment.
Hmm?
Great family moments. It's a family show right
It
now.
sure is.
Because everyone cares about each other and they wouldn't do anything detrimental. It's a lot of kids.
Yep.
They're taking care of their kids.
Oh, yeah.
Looking after their well-being and their futures and lack of therapy they're going to need because you have normal parents. Yeah, it's lovely. So let's keep going to another great family thing. Jassi's party for Darius. And I do have to say,
Okay.
because I looked it up because I wanted to check. He did play in the Super Bowl.
Oh, did he?
He did. He even got one tackle.
All right.
Okay.
Special teams?
I didn't go that deep.
Okay.
I'm assuming yes. I'm assuming
this-
kick.
The
Most
49ers
recent.
Super Bowl?
No. The one that we shall not speak of. That Super Bowl.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Oh, well, fuck him.
Yeah. No, totally.
Yeah,
But I did want to at least say he wasn't just on the field, not dressing out. He did play in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And he's got 3 Super Bowl rings, not just 2.
Well, then this one should have been for.
This is, which one this is.
How long ago did they film this?
Oh no, this was last year. They
Yeah,
won
it's got
last
to be
year.
the Niners. Yeah.
This is the Niners one. I'm saying what I know. I know. Okay.
But did he play in the Niners one?
I
That's
didn't.
the picture they keep showing, I think.
I
Then they
would
showed another
imagine.
picture where he's celebrating the conference championship. And I'm like, well, that's not the Super Bowl.
No, when he's kissing the
just hating.
trophy.
I'm
Yeah,
just-
you're just hating, which is fine because fuck the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Forever
I have
and
nothing
ever.
against him personally. I don't like the Chiefs.
I can't stand that. I hate them top to bottom. This will be a whole different podcast if we keep going down this
Shout out
road.
Josh Allen.
Yeah. Yes, we can agree there.
Yeah.
And the Lions, America's team. Anyway, go Birds. We're at Jassi's party for Darius, and we get to see DJ Applebox, which I will refer to him as from here on out because this man is little.
It is Look, Karen's throwing some real zingers out there.
This is a good one.
That's a really good
It's a
one.
really good one because he walks in with Mia, and look, he's not high standing for me right now, especially watching this last scene. I don't like what he's doing.
Didn't care for who got lumped in the short king status.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
And I was
Don't you
pissed
fucking
off.
dare.
Fucking Jassi, you leave Greg out of this. You fucking leave Greg alone. He's coming in, he's wearing that nice sweater or whatever the fuck that
Gucci
was.
polo, but
Is
yeah.
that what it was? The Gucci polo. There's a little goofy look, but Greg looks great because it's Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
I don't know, like, here's the thing about the dress code for that party.
Mhm.
Put my fashion hat on. It was a party in a hotel, it looked like, some sort of ballroom of a hotel.
It's a ballroom, yeah.
And it was in D.C., and it was after the White House Super Bowl speech, whatever. Great. What do you wear to that? Like, it didn't, I'm sure it didn't say it on the invitation.
I think
There's
you
people
should-
walking around in polos and slacks and whatever.
I would imagine it's. I thought that Darius was dressed appropriately. Whatever that is, it's
He
like
went to the White
suit.
House.
That's the same day?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, his teammate came too.
Prince.
Yeah.
I know him.
Yeah.
But okay, I didn't know it was the same day. It's
Yeah,
back to back. They came
definitely the same
from the
day.
White House,
Yeah.
so they still smell of.
Jassi walked over and said, I didn't see you before you left this morning. You look so good. How was it?
Oh,
And then they said, I got to hear by
so
this.
they still
Cool.
smell of the Oval
They
Office.
do.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Giselle asks questions to Ink, and this is where I start to take issue because I don't really know him yet. We haven't seen much of him yet. I understand that Mia's getting divorced and a new man will enter the picture eventually. I don't have a problem with that. This I had a problem with, and it carries over into the final scene. But he gets on this soapbox or apple box and says it's all about the kids. As long as the kids are happy and as long as it's all love, like that's the most important thing, implying that Gordon is not putting the kids first. However, that's completely disregarding the fact that you committed adultery with the mother of the children, and now you're inserting yourself into their lives while they're trying to figure this whole thing out. If you truly cared about the kids, you would take a step back until this whole thing was sorted out. If you truly cared about the kids, you wouldn't be getting involved with altercations with their father on TV with the kids in the other room.
Yep.
So for him to sit there and say and pretty much villainize Gordon, and again, I don't love Gordon, but to villainize Gordon that he's not prioritizing the children because he's not on board for this weird transition of power that's currently going on amidst the family, and he still takes issue with the fact that his wife cheated on him, that's pretty fucking normal to me. And for him to like use this as, well, it's all love for me and Mia, but we got this third party being an asshole. It's like, well, yeah, dude, you cheated on him. Sorry. Well, yeah, dude, Mia cheated on him with you. So for you to not even acknowledge that part is disrespectful to the entire situation and shows me your lack of actual empathy. You just want to paint Gordon as the villain.
Yep.
You're the savior coming in to save the family and your potential kid, but that's not what the situation is. So I'm like, ooh, I don't like Ink right now. Like I had no opinion about him up until this point. Now immediately I'm like, oh, I don't like you. That's slimy.
Yeah, and I do think that because Mia keeps harping on and on and on about co-parenting and how important the co-parenting is.
Yep.
The problem there is, and I know that her and Ink have a long history, and then you throw in the adultery. Not great. I think that they're lumping Ink in with the co-parenting, which is not how that works.
No.
It is eventually if you guys go on to get married and you keep doing things.
Or if
then-
Jeremiah is your kid.
or if Jeremiah is your kid. Well, then it's no co-parenting anymore.
Well, no, there's another one.
It's Juju. Yeah. Look, here's the thing. He is not part of it right now.
Right.
He shouldn't be part of it. He shouldn't be in that conversation later. That should be a conversation between Mia and Gordon. It could go the exact same way. Maybe Ink wouldn't be there, so maybe it wouldn't have gotten as aggressive. But still, Ink is not part of the co-parenting situation here. And he's taking it on as if he's 50-50 with Mia, and then Gordon's a different 50. You know what I mean? You're not a whole part of this.
No.
Just butt out. Let Mia and Gordon figure it out, and then you kind of just go along with whatever your role is.
Yes.
He thinks that his role is Jeremiah's dad, and that's the problem.
But that's why we need this test. We need to get this test quickly, and
Maury?
we need Maury. We've been clamoring for him ever since we found out that he came back from the dead, which is pretty cool. So yeah, let's get Maury on here real quick. This is where Jassi.
You are not dead.
Maury, you are not deceased. Yay! But this is when Jassi shits on Greg, and I just wrote it down, and I just wrote hell no.
Nope.
Absolutely
Back
not.
off.
Yeah, not cool.
Leave him alone.
But Kierna and Mia squash it, the drug dealer comment, and again, Gizelle. She's like, do you understand how that's detrimental to that man over there because you didn't clarify what boyfriend you were talking about? Mia apologizes. Kierna accepts it. I think it's a loose apology and a loose acceptance.
It
It's more of
was.
a let's squash this for now, and something else will probably pop
Mia's
up.
still insinuating that her ex-boyfriend was a drug dealer, but you know what? Kierna's not taking any of that right now. Just leave Greg out of it.
Yeah, just leave Greg alone.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, there's no need for Greg to be
Also, I
involved.
didn't care for the shade of, oh, I can tell he's a social worker.
Yeah, didn't like that
I don't
either.
like that either.
I didn't like that either, especially because you know what? Also, Greg runs a social work company.
Yep.
Okay, that's different. All right,
He's a CEO.
put some
unlike
fucking
you.
respect on Greg's name.
Yep.
All right, that's our platform now.
Mhm.
I also, because I just read it, okay, I thought Inc. at the very least was like incorporated, right?
Yeah, that would
Not-
make sense to me.
You know what? Would be really fucking dumb
How? Well,
if it stood for incognito,
yeah,
and his thing was to wear shades.
yeah,
That's stupid.
dumb.
It's really dumb. And wearing shades, you're a radio personality. They don't see you. That makes no sense. You're incognito because you're on the radio. They can't see you, so what's the need for the shades?
Well, now most radio stations have like cameras.
Shut
and stuff
up.
in there.
Shut up. Don't do that. Don't you fucking do that. I'm just saying, it's dumb. He's dumb. I don't like him.
Yeah.
But anyway, TJ arrives, and he's exactly what everyone thought. No surprise to anybody. Wendy's comment was my favorite. She's like, that is a man that is not sexually active. That's probably what everybody could say about him.
Uh-huh.
And you could argue that his energy comes from potentially being so pent up.
He looks like a big brother in Christ guy.
Yeah.
My brother in Christ.
My brother in
Yeah.
Christ. Yeah, he's that dude.
You don't know what I'm up to.
Yeah. Ooh.
Not me personally. I'm just saying. You
I know. Yeah, he's definitely that guy, but they're even, I mean, Eddie's trying, Happy Eddie's trying. He's like, yeah, you know, a lot of great relationships start with good friendships. And this line, I was floored. I was blown away. And if I'm Stacey, I would feel so dumb. He's like, he goes, yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. Because, like, once you get physical, it's just boring. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was when I made my decision. She's got to go.
He's got to
Get out
go
of
and
there.
she's got to run. What do you mean?
You use that bachelorette pad and you use it well.
Use it for,
Away from TJ.
yeah, turn it into what it's supposed to be.
Yep.
Okay, not a treehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, do fun things. You
Yeah.
deserve it. You're just getting out of a marriage, like you're going through it. This is not the rebound.
No.
This is not a fun rebound. Put TJ on the back burner. Come back, but do some fun shit. You
Yeah.
deserve it. Stacey's the best. Go have some fun. Go live your life. Don't wait for goddamn TJ, because goddamn TJ might not even be ready once you're married. This dude is a dud. He just said that getting physical with you, Stacey, getting physical with you, and she's objectively gorgeous. She is a awesome person, and he literally just told the whole room that the idea of getting physical with you is boring. Run
Now,
as
you know what
fast as
really
you
gets
can.
my blood pumping?
What?
Going to the zoo.
He said the zoo.
I
He
know.
fucking said the
So what
zoo.
did you what were you guys up to then if you weren't
I'll
doing
tell you
it?
what we did.
We went to the zoo.
Boo, boo. It's like
How
it's
many
a
times?
it's a bit. It's got to be a bit.
It's gotta
Like
be a bit.
I hope maybe they are. Maybe they're banging all the time, and this is just the facade they're putting on, and they just call it going to the zoo.
Euphemism is the zoo.
Yeah, and that's the euphemism for sex because he's lit, and he's so proud when he says it.
know.
We went to the zoo because that's fun. You know what's not fun? Sex. Ew. It's just crazy. Stacey, you deserve better. But you get to meet Darius and Prince. They're both members of the Kansas City Chiefs. And it is funny to me that a lot of the women who gave Jassi shit before both see and feel Darius's arm.
Yep.
And like, we get it. We get
You're
it. Yeah, no, we understand now.
The whole thing
Carry
with
on.
the baby and the timelines. Don't worry
It
about
doesn't
it.
matter anymore because goddamn that man's bicep. Yeah, that's fine. We're all on the same page here. But Mia and Karen sit down together, and Gizelle told, and I love this too because Gizelle can still get messy.
Mediator.
Yep, but she also incites the violence.
Mhm.
She starts it and then she mediates. That's a great role for
And
her.
this is the thing. What Karen said was enough on its own that you didn't need to embellish. You didn't need to put any stank on it.
Mm-mm.
You just sit down and say exactly what it is. You guys are going to talk tomorrow, and I'll be there.
Yes, but for somebody with 2 DUIs under their belt to speak on rehab like this was upsetting to me because she's like, well, I heard about the opioids thing, and, you know, Mia's honest enough to share that it wasn't rehab. I actually OD'd, and then she found therapy via chiropractic. Fine.
Sure.
Different strokes for
Whatever
different
works.
folks. If that works for you, great. But she's like, well, you know, you could imagine it's not a far leap. It's like that's so disrespectful to assume that you know what's going on. And again, it paints this picture of I'm better than because you OD'd, because you went to rehab potentially. Karen, you got 2 DUIs, dude. You got 2 DUIs, and apparently you're still drinking in the morning and making phone calls, according to Jacqueline.
And you're completely denying everything and not taking any responsibility for it.
Yeah. So Mia, who I hate, I'm on her team.
Yeah.
Because this is fucking stupid.
Definitely.
And I didn't care for it at all, but
I did think that the end of it was kind of funny.
this is the problem.
The back and forth. But this
Yeah.
is the thing is, I know that Mia is not affected by any of that. As long as you don't really bring the kids into it, which you probably will towards the end of the
It'll
season.
get there.
As long as you don't do that, Mia can handle anything.
Yeah.
She is going to laugh off anything that gets thrown her way.
Public
Karen's
balls.
getting a little worked up over there. A little worked up. And Mia knows that she is. So I liked that little back and forth because Mia was enjoying it and Karen was not.
No, it was a good back and forth. I thought it was interesting, though, that you get, like, Karen's crew rallying, like, slowly migrating behind her as this is going down.
Yep.
But no, Mia held her own even during the, you've danced on a lot of balls, a lot of public balls. That was your profession. And Mia just brushes it off. And I think what that tells me is Mia's got more in the bag. She's got something that she knows or something
Sure.
she's saving for later where she's like, not right now.
She knows that Mia she's pretty quick with it. She has good intelligence when it comes to, let's call it battle strategy.
Did you like a battle
She
strategy?
can handle that. And I think that she knows what's on the horizon for her with the Ink and Gordon situation. And she knows that Karen and a couple of the other women are probably going to have their 2 cents. And when she needs to, she'll pull that ammunition out.
Fair.
Doesn't need to do it right now.
Yeah.
It would be useless.
It would be, especially in a party setting. That's a good point. But this is the scene I was referring to. This scene pissed me off to no end. We get Karen with her cousin David, and Karen's talking about what she's been going through. And I was really hoping what I was going to see from this is a scene in which she takes some accountability for what happened. We even find out that she was on the phone with David while this happened. So David probably knows way more than anybody does, but he's also being a supportive family member, hearing her out. And she literally just takes that time to try to spin this web of why she got in an accident without any outside influence. She's like, well, the taxes thing with Ray got to me, and then I had to sell the house, and then my parents were passing, and it was all...
So it was 2018, 2020, and 2022.
Yeah, 4 years.
This is 2024.
Right.
So
this is a 6-year thing.
We're not going to deny that things do get bottled up and then come out in different ways for sure. But you still are not taking responsibility for what happened. You're not going into it. You're talking to the person that was on the phone with you when it happened, and you're still not saying on camera, I shouldn't have gotten behind the wheel.
No.
You're still not saying on camera, I drank and I did whatever, and I should have not gotten behind the wheel. I should have been smarter.
I made a huge
I
mistake.
made a huge mistake. Nothing. There's just no culpability.
No, all she does is just try to sidestep, deflect, and not address what actually happened. And then she has the balls to say, I'm focused on my court appearance and things happen for a reason. Maybe this happened so you would wake the fuck up. Maybe this happened so you would stop getting DUIs. Maybe this happened so you would address your relationship with alcohol or your relationship with substances. Maybe that's why this happened. But instead, you're acting like you're on this quest given to you by God to get vindicated for something that you did wrong that could have resulted in your death. It could have resulted in the death of another family. And that's where it really bugs me, especially somebody in the recovery community where this stuff is so fucking serious and it's getting treated like a joke now and has been for the entirety of the season. And it's starting to piss me off because no one's pressing her about it. I don't expect David to press her about it. He's the cousin. But no one else on this show is really going after her about it. I need Mia to step up. I need somebody to step up. Gizelle, question her more. And she's going to push back, but who gives a shit? This should not be allowed to continue where she gets to sit there and act like she's the victim when she is the problem. And it's disrespectful to those that have had to deal with DUIs or the ramifications of a DUI or being on the other side of it if something goes horribly wrong. And she's acting like it's not a problem. And she's acting like because it's a court date and a trial date that she can't discuss it. You made a mistake. You made the biggest mistake of your life for the second time, which tells me you don't learn either. I would have much more grace if it's a situation like Shannon, where it's like it's your first DUI and then we watched you take accountability for a season. This is your second DUI and you're acting like it wasn't your fault because of what you were going through. There's never an excuse to get behind the wheel of a car drunk. What you can do is take accountability and try to rebuild trust with people around you by being honest, vulnerable, and open. Instead of pointing fingers at trees and deer and saying, God has a plan for me, I'm just going to believe in God and follow through and everything will work out. Take some goddamn accountability and stop this nonsense because it's so disrespectful and now it's just stupid. It's just simply dumb.
No, it really is. And I think that the biggest telltale sign at the end of this is David starts crying.
Because he was on the phone.
Yeah. And she wasn't. She came over and gave him a hug. She was comforting him going through all of this, which is insane to me. And it tells me that either one, which would be very unhealthy for her, she's just bottling it back up again and not addressing it, which means it could come back up. If we're to believe that all of these things came back up and resulted in that, then this is just going to happen again in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not a DUI, maybe whatever.
It'll rear its head
It'll
somewhere.
rear its head somehow if you keep doing that. So that's one, not healthy, not good for you. Or two, you will have convinced yourself that you are fine and clean and everything, and nobody should be judging you. So you're not going to allow yourself to get emotional about it. You're not going to allow yourself to do the responsible thing and just say, hey, I made a fucking mistake. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's upsetting. It's stupid, and it's fully pushed me off the Karen train. I'm not a fan of hers anymore. I think this is gross. I think it's, again, like I said, it's just flat out disrespectful to people that have had to deal with the fallout of being the victim of somebody that was driving a car drunk, because you can't just acknowledge the fact that you fucked up. At the very least, I have a court date coming up, but I made a huge mistake and I'm going to go get it figured out. That's all you have to say. That's not talking about your trial. That's admitting, oops, DUI number 2, like Jesus Christ. But back to the family show. This is a family show.
Family show.
Okay, and nothing says family like Ink with the kids in the apartment. And he's loading them up with sugar, and Gordon arrives. And I think it's very funny that Mia's like, it's just tough because there's no boundaries. You live in the same building as the father of your children. So no, you've made it clear that boundaries are loose.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, the boundaries are not.
Yep.
You're in the same place. So this immediately, I got a bad feeling. I'm like, I don't like this at all. And, they're like, go watch TV in the other room. It's an apartment. We're in an apartment. All right. Even if you're in the room, like, you're going to hear what's going on. And they start to get into it. It's tense as hell the minute that Gordon walks in. And here's the thing. And we'll separate our feelings about Gordon overall and just be objective about this. For Gordon to say, I'm not going to film with you, makes sense to me.
Reasonable to me.
Yep. You and my wife cheated on me. I'm not going to film with you unless we're with the kids, because I'll always keep it cordial. At the very least, he's able to say that and maintain that. But I don't think it's an unreasonable request for him to say, I don't want to film with you, adulterer. Great. That's fine.
Makes sense to me.
But they keep getting deeper and deeper into it. And this is when Mia thinks that I don't know what she thinks we're watching, because she seems to think she has the audience's support here. She's like, look, we're trying our best here. And, Gordon's not okay with the relationship. And I'm just trying to co-parent. And it's like, now you're doing what Ink did earlier. You're trying to use the kids to garner sympathy and support and say, look, Ink and I are trying. Gordon won't get on board.
Yeah.
Because you haven't addressed the elephant in the room that you guys fucked while you were married to Gordon.
No, and then there's a thing coming around right now, or at least circulating, that there was a hall pass involved with Ink at one point in time. But Gordon even says it was multiple times, and he's disputing the parentage, and he's doing a lot of other things, and he's just acting like essentially they're his kids. He's hanging out with them. They're going on Airbnb trips so they can all hang out together as a family, and Gordon is left at the apartment. So yeah, he doesn't want to do this. I'm sure he's obligated to go in there and have this conversation at least once. I don't know if we're going to see it again, but Ink getting involved at all is dumb.
Yes.
You have to sit there and be quiet.
Absolutely.
If this was a normal circumstance and this was just Mia's new boyfriend, they didn't know each other, and there was like a little bit of overlap, maybe, we're not really sure, then yeah, if Gordon kind of exploded like this, it'd be like, all right, the kids are in the other room, let's not do this. But I understand where
There's
Gordon's
a
coming
history.
from. There's a whole history here. Ink is talking over you.
No, he's talking up to him.
He's talking up to him, yeah. Acting like he has the kid's best interest in mind, and Gordon doesn't, because Gordon is cursing in the kitchen while the kids are around the corner. Ink was gaslighting him the entire time.
Yeah.
Why are you there? This should just be a conversation between Mia and Gordon about what to do with the kids around Ink. And
Yes.
Gordon would probably still not be supportive of it, but he even says and breaks the fourth wall multiple times by looking at the camera. I'm not doing this on camera. You guys are doing all of these things. I'm not promoting your relationship. This is insane to me. I'm here for the kids.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me, Gordon. Ink, shut up. Mia, stop trying to make him feel bad.
Stop trying to make Ink look like a good guy.
Like, what do you want them to get along after you cheated on your husband for years for this guy?
Yeah, and look,
It's
like,
crazy.
we understand that there was underlying issues amidst the
Sure.
relationship with Gordon. Okay, and yeah, there's a certain level of you feel like you had to do what you had to do, whatever. I don't.
Like, I have to leave I wanted to leave the relationship because of what you were putting me through, but then you went through all of your stuff and I had to stay. It's like it doesn't sound true.
No, and like, look, I will never be okay with infidelity. I'll never, like, none of us are going to watch this and go, yeah, you should have cheated on him. It's like, no.
No.
And again, I'm not trying to take away from your experience. It could have been very traumatic for you and you wanted to get out of there. Fine. I can believe that. But the way that they're going about this is baffling to me because you guys are trying to claim that the kids' best interests are at heart. You're having this conversation with them in the other room. Have somebody come pick the kids up and do this. If you want this on camera, which you so clearly do, then at least have a prepared situation where there's not children in the house. And then Gordon gets upset, understandably so, leaves, and now Ink gets to go, and he's cussing around the kids like, we can't have that. That's not good for them. It's like, then get the fuck out, Ink. You're the problem here. And if you turn out to be Jeremiah's dad, it's a different conversation entirely that still should just be amongst adults. There needs to be a conversation at some point. Ink, you're the outside factor here. If you had any respect for the family as a whole, because Gordon's going to be around, whether you like it or not. If this was a real situation, you would call Gordon off camera and go, look, dude, I'm Jeremiah's father, if that's proven to be true. We need to sit down and figure out how we can make this work, how we can be cordial. We don't have to like each other. I'll respect your boundaries. You respect mine. That's how this should be handled. It does not need to be handled in an apartment with cameras where you bring Gordon in. Ink gets to act like he's a good guy. Mia gets to act like she has the kid's best interest at heart, although she's putting this shit on camera. And now Gordon's left out to dry. And again, not a Gordon fan. But if I'm looking at this objectively, who's in the wrong? Mia and Ink, shut the fuck up. What did you expect to happen here? And then you're going to act like Gordon's the bad guy as he's walking out because he's upset that he just had to stand in the kitchen and defend himself to the guy that his wife cheated on him with.
Yeah.
Who potentially fathered one of his children. What am I saying right now? Like, what are we talking about?
It is insanity. And again, this was something that we never should have seen. Gordon should not have been in that conversation with the two of them there. Maybe it's a conversation that just me and Gordon have, and we get to see that. Sure, all for that.
Mia says my mind is blown.
Yeah,
What?
throwing Ink in that, it's just the whole thing was a mess. But I couldn't look away.
No, I couldn't
needed
either.
to see it.
It was yucky, but I could not stop watching.
Had to see it.
But yeah, let's get to some family-oriented questions. What do you say?
Oh yeah. From Simply Oni, I personally feel like TJ won't be intimate with Stacey because she's still legally married.
Nope.
I don't think so.
Nope. That's not true.
Yeah, there's another one in here. Do you feel like TJ is waiting for Stacey to be legally divorced before intimate?
No.
No. Jassi asked, who was the most dressed down at this function? I think it was TJ in his sneakers.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go with that.
Any TJ shade, I'm for it. I don't
Yeah.
like him.
From Christy Jedlicki, does it feel like Mia's storyline is its own show separate from the rest of the cast?
Yes.
Sometimes, yes. With that last scene specifically, yes.
Yeah, it really does. And we're here for it.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately. I feel dirty. But I can't stop watching.
And last one here from Mary Had a Little. This isn't a question. This is just a shot at Karen. Karen is overrated and thinks she is so much hotter and badder than she is.
Take that, Karen.
Yeah, Karen.
Yeah.
We'll let her know.
From our audience to you. How's that feel? Not very good, I expect.
Nope.
But yeah, what a family episode.
Just a great time.
Just a great time. Good time. Good season. Good and yeah, no notes.
No notes.
It just, notes for Mia on how she's handling the whole
Yeah.
thing. But god damn it, I can't stop watching it. I'll tell you that much. But we got a packed schedule, so we are wrapping this up right now because we got to start doing a little Beverly Hills action.
Sure do.
Because Beverly Hills premieres tonight.
Well, last night.
Last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it. You guys get it.
Yeah.
You guys are smart. Proud Bros are out here.